'cause baby, it's cold outside. What is going on here? What? Okay, lights on, guys. What's going on here, Hootie? Come on, man. What's up? And what's with the camera, man? Every time I leave out of the shop, I gotta deal with this. Every time I leave out of the shop, I gotta deal with this, bro. And she got snow on her. Oh, that's a snow owl. Oh, she's new. Oh. Y'all just talking by the candlelight, I see. Okay. All right, so we're going to excuse you over there because this is just foolishness. All right, so anywho, I want to talk about this incredible bass, but I can't do it with you guys sitting here in the way. So I'm going to ask you and your snowbird girlfriend, snow owl girlfriend, to with all that snow on her. This is crazy. This is real snow. All right, we're going to have to ask you and her to get over here. All right. Thank you. We're going to talk right after the video finish. You got water on my desk. Unbelievable, man. What is all this? Unbelievable. Dude brought a candle in here, y'all. What y'all supposed to been doing up in here? Am I too late or what? But shut the fuck up, folks! Charlie Line! Alright, so let me get some things straight right here, because stuff ain't right, y'all. So I'm gonna move this back a little bit. Alright, and clean my hands a little bit here. What in the world is going on in this place? Man. Anywho. Clean my hands here, y'all. Alright, so look. So check this out. I'm going to say this just like it is. This bass came in. And pull the camera up a little bit. Pull my seat up. This bass. Oh. Wrong way. Like that is. Woo! Why is this joke leaning? Oh, everything. Man, you been messing my chair, man. Alright, so is that high enough? Alright, so look. Alright, so this bass came in, y'all. I am not procrastinating. Or even joking. Yo. This got to be the thickest, bootiest bass I ever heard. I ain't gonna say I ever heard, but it's almost there with that. I never had one of these in the shop. Ever. I always wanted one come through the shop. And I couldn't figure out how to do it because the queen won't let me go out and buy one because she feels I don't need another bass. And she's right. But when I started hearing about these basses, I started getting interested because I started seeing the wood combination, and the wood combinations were like freaking me out. Look, it was freaking me out. It was just freaking me right out. Yo. So let's talk about it. All right, because I don't know a lot about them, and I didn't do no homework on them, but I'm going to put it to you this way. This joint is cray-cray. All right, so look. Let's look at it. By the look at it, you can already tell what it is. Some of you guys who know exactly what this is. This is an MG bass. And am I saying that right, MG? Yep, this is an MG bass. And I never had an opportunity to work on one, so this one came in the shop. This thing is absolutely, when you talk about booty and gut, this thing got booty and gut. The EMGs are unbelievable. When you hear this bass, you can hear the real EMGs, what they really sound like in a really well-made bass. All right, let's look at it. So I don't know what the woods are, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what it is because I don't know yet, or you don't know anyway. So anyway, he's got it curved. He's got it carved. All this is carved in, like an eighth of an inch and stuff, away from the main thing. And then you got your I don't know what this is. It looks like walnut, but I don't think that's walnut. His design is incredible. All right, let's look at the headstock. Now, as far as the headstock, I'm not sold yet. I'm not sold on the headstock. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right off the bat. All right, so this 2025, I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna tell you what I like and what I don't like. It's not my bass. I'm just telling you the pros and the cons. The building of this bass is unbelievable. The craftsmanship is second to none. It is absolutely a beautiful bass. This is a neck through. I didn't like the way he humped it right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's like a V hump. Let me get close to the camera so you guys can really see it. All right, so you can see it's a V hump. I don't like the V hump. Anyway, as you go down the neck, there's a bigger dip V hump right there. That's right at the nut. See that big, deep V hump? I call it V hump. I'm not crazy about that. But the bass itself, when I plugged it in, after I got through working on it, I didn't really think the bass gonna sound like that. But I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, this is scary. This is a very, very scary bass. And when I mean scary, I mean the looks ain't getting me, but I tell you, the feel is, I can live with it. It's just that hump in the back and the hump right there at the end of it. I'm not sold on that, y'all, at all. I like the design of the bass and the way he does stuff, but I've seen him do some really, really incredible shapes, and I'm hoping after he sees this video, he calls me, and possibly we can work something out that I can get a bass for myself, without breaking the bank. That is. All right, so I think the first thing we need to do is tune it up. All right. Pulled out my little trusty KLIQ tuner from Amazon. Or they call it a Metro Pitch. All right. As long as it works, it's a tuner. I'm find my cord here. Okay, so basically y'all know what I'm coming through. I'm coming through my SWR LA12 with no hone in it. Ain't got no hone in that joke. And people like I said on the other video, people like, dude, you can put a horn in that now, right? No, I am not. I am not gonna put a horn in it. If you want me to have another amp, you can send me another one. I prefer whatever you send me, that's good. Look, but I'm gonna use this right here until it blow up. Or don't want to work no more. Alright, so let's look at the controls. Because it's got EMG pickups in it, and it's got an EMG circuit in it. Now, I'm not really understanding the circuit, but I think this is volume, blend, bass, mids, and this is what they call it, I think it's an exciter. Because it's parametric. If you turn the top one all the way over, everything becomes parametric. And you hear that wow, 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 wow. That's crazy, right? Right? It's crazy, right? Okay, I'm just letting you know. I mean, that's what I saw anyway. That's what I heard when I was tinkling with it. He said tinkling. When I was tinkling with it, that's what I heard. All right, so first thing we want to do, we got to plug it in. Oh, and it's got active passive switch on it. So first thing we need to do we're in passive mode. I just want to check the tuning. Because the strings are new, and the strings he had me put on it was these. All right, these are bright tone Diodarios EXL 170-5. All right, they're a little bit too much for my hand. I like them though; they sound good, nice and clean, and they nickels. Already, folks, listen. Already, I'm hearing that piano tone. You know I'm about that piano. How low have you got these strings? They're not underneath the fret because it's a neck through, and they have monorails. I'm not a fan of monorails. I'm really not a fan of monorails. They do well on a lot of basses, but you have to do so much work to get them to drop down. They don't just screw down and they'll be fine. If I'm trying to put it underneath the fret, I have to do a lot of work to this monorail to get, I call it, or either a floating bridge. I call it a floating bridge. They call it a monorail. But to make it really, really drop, you have to take you have to take out the saddles and then, grind them down a little bit. Then take the saddle itself, the main deck, and grind it. It's a lot of stuff, man, to make it drop underneath the fret. But it's extremely close. That's what I want. All right, because from what I heard so far, it's crazy, man. All right, so let's just go through it, because yikes. That's all I gotta say is yikes. All right, so first thing I want to do is go to the rear pickup. We first want to see if we in. All right, so up is passive. And a lot of you guys don't understand, man, if the bass is built amazingly, passive sounds amazing. Passive sound amazing if the bass is built amazingly. Now this is in passive mode, in rear pickup. Neck is wide. But listen, that's that deep, rich Steinway tone. Woo! Yeah, baby. Front pickup. I love EMGs, the thickness, it's just that thickness they got. Both pickups. And that's that cursive writing. I'm gonna use that word a lot this year, y'all. Cursive writing. That's because a lot of people can't cursive write. And you look at her, what is cursive? Woo! That means that you like young. That's that signature sound. I love EMGs when they in the right bass. All right, so now, in passive mode, I don't think I have a tone control. We can search, though. Let's search. Ain't nothing working. Uh-oh. Nope. I was thinking that was passive tone. It's not. Now let's go to now listen how this bass sounds in passive tone. right there. I ain't even got to active yet. It's just passive. You know that knuckling? Let's go to active mode. Turn everything back. So now we're going to find out what that rear stack knob does. And the second from the rear stack knob. We're going to find out what they do too. So first thing we'll do, since we're in active mode, we're going to find out. All right, we're going to take that first control after the blending. To me personally, it feels like a bass. So it could be bass. I don't know. All the way back. In the middle. And all the way open. We're going to find out something. All right, so we're going to leave it at D10. Let's go to the next. Well, no, let's turn that all the way off. Let's go to the next one and see what that does. We're going to put it at D10 and see what we got. To me, it sounds like treble. Let's do it all the way over. I was right. So check it out. So you got bass and treble. So that means that back one is what they call an exciter. And with the exciter, it boosts up kind of like a mid thing. So it boosts and excites the mid of the bass. I could be a little off on that, but we're going to find out right now. So we're going to turn the bass back, treble back, and we're going to go to the lower part of this thing and see what it does. So everything is off. Let's turn it on. I ain't heard anything. Let's go to the top one. Okay, so the top to me sound like a mid. Now, I got the top one all the way open. Let's start opening up the bottom one. So that's when the parametric thing kick in. Watch this. Woo! That's that mid parametric EQ. Y'all hear that? All right, so I'm gonna open it all the way. Let's open up the treble. Let's open up. So that's the top. The top stack is the high mids. We're learning this basically like everybody else. Okay, so now we will open up bass to D10, treble to D10, and we're gonna open up everything to D10 and see what we got. All right, now we get somewhere. Now let's start working on that parametric EQ. some stuff. All right, so we know that stack knob in the back is like a parametric MIDI cue. All right, so what we're going to do is that we're going to go through, we're going to set the bass and treble, we're going to set the bass on D10, and we're going to set the treble at 3/4. Because with this kind of woods on this bass is not a head cutter. All right, I don't want this bass to be a head cutter. And it don't sound like a head cutter. It feels like something that you will open your chest right up. Just stomp me right in the chest. And that's what this bass sounds like. Good, thick rhino mids. I said rhino mid. Rhino mids. This one got rhino mids. Woo! That scoop is right there, man. This is a very executive talking kind of bass. It's like it makes you listen to it because it's not talking. It's not doing all that. It's not. It's right in the middle, man. It's like, I don't know, man, how to say it. I know it's got rhino mids. Listen to the mids, though. I love EMGs. Now check it out. Check it now. The bass ain't been moved yet, but you can hear bass rolling in and out. You know why? Because it's going inside the body and pulling that body tone up. That's why I keep telling you guys, you got to learn your mids. Listen how that bottom. The bass ain't on. You hear how thick it just got? That's crazy. Now, let's work with the bass a little bit. Now, while I got your attention, because I know I got your attention, on the inside of this bass, it has 2 dip switches. I can go on the inside and hit one switch, and the whole demeanor of the bass will change. The whole demeanor. And you can either take one up, one down, or take them both up or both down, and you can actually have so much character coming out of this bass that you probably just want one bass, and that would be this. That would be this bass. That's crazy, y'all. This bass right here, it's funky in here, bro. It's no wonder who they had that joint lit. Yeah, let me relight it, cause, bruh, this bass is straight funk. This bass is putting out so much funk. Oh my God. Ah. Woo. Yeah, it's funky in here, bro. It's straight up funky in here, man. I love this bass. It's got great character. It has great. It's seasoned. The bass is seasoned. It's a lot of stuff that I ain't crazy about, but the wood combination, how he did it, it's unbelievable. But if you're the kind of guy that like to hear a lot of depth in your playing, if you're a jazz player, this bass will be for you. Blues, yep. Country and western, yep, because it's gutty. It's got that rhino mids. I said rhino mids. Rhino mids. It's got that rhino mids, man. It's the bass will get even deeper than what I showed y'all. Like I said, if I go inside and hit that switch, everything changes. Like the bass will get even more deeper. And I might lose a little bit of the highs, but not much. But I just like the thickness of the bass. I like the way it feels while I'm playing it. There's a couple things, I didn't like. I told you what they were. I'm not crazy about the headstock. I'm not crazy about that at all. But I've seen a lot of other basses that this gentleman made, and man, I'm gonna tell y'all, his concepts are unbelievable, unbelievable. So my brother, I don't know your name. If I know you make MG basses, but if you want to contact me, here's my number. If you want to contact me. Oh, you can find me if you want me, bro. So once again, guys, please, y'all, please keep praying for the Queen and I in our home. Pray for the Hobo Depot that it can remain an open, an open water hole for a lot of musicians. Just keep praying for each other, y'all. This world is getting crazy. It's getting real crazy. But God don't ever get crazy. God always stay on the even keel, man. Because if he didn't, we'd be jacked up. So I'm glad he stays on the even keel. And I'm glad God forgive all our sins and stuff. So once again, guys, shout it, Gaga! And here you hear, looking at an MG bass. This bass is crazy. This bass is beautiful. I've been through the depot, so it's beautiful. That's the MG bass. Awesome bass. Awesome bass. All right, Hootie. You and I and Snow Owl need to talk. Because this is crazy what you just did, bro. I can't even believe you can't.